Good afternoon. I thought we had a good day out there today. Good energy, good focus, and a lot of good work. High speed, good on good. Gave us a chance to not only do a little bit of scheme work, but really get back into fundamentals. I think something on every bye week is a necessity as you go through the year. It's one of the things you can really take advantage of on these weeks when you're not playing a game on a Saturday. Questions?
There are a couple of key guys that are out, but are you able to get done what you want to get done? And is it a blessing in disguise in the sense you can look at younger guys? How are you treating that?
I think there's definitely some advantages to having reps for the players that are on the fringe, especially the guys like Justin Goodwin and Desmond Peoples, who are kind of on the fringe of playing a lot more this year, and even in the secondary, guys like Nadir Barnwell, Anthony Chaffee. Now that we have committed to playing them, it gives us a chance to really work with them and give them a specified role so they can improve as they go through the year.
How big a play in the game was Duane Mara's sack?
I think there are probably 8 to 10 plays in that game that are the reason we had a chance to win the game despite losing the turnover battle 3-0. And I think that cannot be understated. It's very rare that you can win a game when you lose that turnover battle 0-3. And to do it, it's a combination of sacks, great defense, a third down stop, a third down conversion by Ruhan Peel. It's a 25-yard pass by Brandon Coleman. It's 2 punt returns by Janarian Grant. It's a touchdown, 2 touchdown catches, throws by Gary and Leonte. So there's a lot that has to go right for you when you make those kind of mistakes, and we were fortunate that it did.
Going back to Saturday, I don't think you've been asked about it. On that fake pump play, it seemed like on the TV there were 10 guys on the field for you. Was that
there
right?
were.
Okay, I couldn't tell. I didn't want to say anything. What went wrong on that play?
The mic was supposed to cover the eligible center. He didn't identify him as an eligible player. That's why no one was covering him. But the mic was in the game. That was the issue for us on that play. It wasn't the number of defenders. It was how we covered it.
When will you start to figure out the distribution of carries with the 3 running backs you have? Is that going to be narrowed down this week, or you wait till next week?
I think by Sunday we got to have a pretty good idea. Once we get into the true game week, I think we've got 2 more days here to really try to figure out how to utilize the 3 players to the best of their abilities, and then on Sunday try to have a little bit better idea.
Do you have any concerns that Peoples and Goodwin haven't really done it, on the field in a game? You've seen them in practice, obviously,
Sure.
But any concerns that the 2 backups are potentially fresh new guys with little experience?
I don't. I think they're both talented players. I think they both have carried the ball a lot in their careers for a long time. I think the one thing I always guard against is having any expectations of what they'll do. We certainly have practice expectations. They earn their opportunities. But once they get those opportunities in the game, then they have to earn more opportunities in the game. And the better they perform, the more opportunities they'll get.
Kyle, injuries have hurt him for a couple of years, but Darrell Stevenson's healthy now. He's finding his way into the rotation. What has he been like this year?
Yeah, Darrell, probably 2 guys on that defensive line. Probably 3. 3 guys that have not played a lot of football before this year for us, who really have had a big impact, are Darrell Stevenson, Duane Mara, and David Maluski. And 2 of the 3 haven't played a lot in the past because of injuries, like you stated. David Maluski and Darrell. So to have those guys healthy, and they've been healthy for the entire time right now, has been tremendous. It really has allowed us to play 8 or 9 defensive linemen per game. And when you have that many talented players and they're all healthy, now in the games they're fresh. And I think that really allows you to play at a high tempo up front, and certainly helps us play good defense.
Playing a Saturday game in Texas, coming home, then going to Louisville for a Thursday, does it make you do anything different this week in terms of getting ready for those games?
I don't think so. These are young people. They recover pretty fast. Our standard bye week procedure has always been to practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday's always been our designated day off, and then we try to give them a little bit of time off on the bye week for some of the guys who are local, maybe to go home and even just to rest and recover before. We'll start the game week on Sunday, for us, and we'll do a little bit more than we normally would do on a Sunday. But I don't think so. I think the schedule is always what it is, and we don't have any input in terms of how they do it and designate the bye weeks. So however they give them to us, we use them to the best of our ability. And this week that'll mean giving some guys a little bit of extra rest to get their bodies healed up who've played a lot of football, and as I said before, some of the guys on the fringe, a chance to give them a bigger role if they can prove they deserve it.
You mentioned Duane Mara finding more playing time this year. What has he done well or better this year to be able to get that time where he hasn't in the past?
He's been really productive, and he's found a home at that defensive end position. And on defense, it's about production. You guys certainly got to do your job and play your gap, but you can do all those things, and if you don't run to the ball and make the tackle, it's not good enough. And he's put all those things together this year. He's playing at a high level. We couldn't be prouder of him.
Got time for two more. Are you pleased with where this team is defensively, particularly against the run?
I think we're doing a good job against the run. I think we were tested last week in a way we hadn't been, like I said, all week. I knew that was going to be the case. A bigger, stronger offensive line than we'd seen all year, and two of the finer running backs in the country. I think they've got very talented running backs there. So I knew we would be tested, and I thought our players held up, and that's a great sign for our defense, because that's where defense starts for us. And now, as we go forward, I think into our conference play, the first team we're going to see is going to revert back, I think, a little bit more towards what Fresno has done. And I think they'll throw it a little bit more than they'll run it. So, we need to be a complete defense. We're a little bit more experienced now in the secondary than we were for that first game, and hopefully that'll serve us well. Thanks, guys.